What's up, guys? I'm going to be doing another hog gameplay guide. Previous one was with Pigpen Hog. Basically, though, you're playing the same. It's mostly still relevant. But I figured I'd discuss the mechanics differences, kind of like a hopefully shorter video than the normal. Yeah. So basically, right. Obviously, supposedly Hog is slated for another rework potentially. I kind of hope it doesn't go through. I'd rather Hog be like he is now, but like weaker, right? Just because this is the most fun version of Hog, really. I don't have faith that the rework will be very if it goes through, of course, it'll be very faithful to what the character is this time. I suspect. Yeah, I suspect if it does go through, it's going to be much more severe of a change, I guess, is a proper way of putting it, right? So, anyways, big differences now, right? Your gun no longer has central projectiles, right? Obviously, Pigpen's gone, and you have alternate fire, right? So, after 10 meters, right, the projectile explodes for full damage, right? So, left click and right click do the same amount of damage. If you're closer than 10 meters, right? You can see it does, I think, 50 damage, yeah. Yeah, so if you're basically closer than 10 meters, just use left click, right? Obviously, it seems better than it is against these bots, but like if you're against, like a Tracer, for example, and she's moving all over the place, it's going to be kind of hard to consistently pull that off, right? Yeah. So ideally, you want to be sitting around like 10 to 15 meters and trying to right-click people down, just because you're usually much safer at that distance, right? For example, against like a Reinhardt, right? He literally cannot do anything to you if you just maintain your distance and just keep right-clicking him down, right? Or of course, you can get closer sometimes and start left-clicking him, right? It's context-dependent, but usually, just being in range of right-click is just much better, right? Just because it's much safer for you generally, right? More spacing. And it's also has better damage potential in like a real match environment because like you just are realistically going to be spacing yourself further away because you're pretty easy to kill if you don't play around cover, right? So like doing something like this and trying to barrel stuff the soldier is like not realistically going to happen often in the game, but like staying around this distance here and just like two-shotting him, one-shotting him, three-shotting him, something like that consistently is is the move, right? Breather, pretty obvious, right? 40% damage reduction. Yeah, just hold it when you're taking a lot of fire. Try not to use it when just to heal off a little bit of damage. Let your supports do that, right? Yeah, so pretty simple build. Really, I mean, not too much to say about that one. Hook, right? 20 meters. Of course, depending on the size of the models that you're hooking, it can go a little further than 20 meters. Really, it's just connecting with the hitbox before, right? Because the models themselves have some sort of size, right? So, yeah. Worth mentioning that hook has an LOS check, I believe, if less than 50% of the model is obscured, I think, from the center of the model. The hook will break. I'll try to demonstrate that here, right? So, it just doesn't even connect. Okay, well, yeah. If too little of the model is exposed, right, the hook breaks like that, right? Like obviously this guy would be walking to the right if it was a real player, right, to break it. Or you can get like stunned out of it. That also cancels hook. Otherwise, hook goes through no matter what, right? So if you get booped away, for example, at max range, by like a Brig or a Lucio, and the hook connects, as long as you don't fail the LOS check or get stunned, it will continue to reel in, right? So sometimes you see like those crazy long hooks, and that's why, right? So hook, you can turn people approximately 70 degrees to the left or right, right? Just by moving your view as the person's being reeled in, right? It's important to do it as the person's being reeled in because if you do it too early, right? I'll try to showcase it here. See, they get stuck on corners usually. Yeah, it's just very, very inconsistent. Whereas, like, if I just do it now, right, while he's getting reeled in, you see that was also a much tighter corner than when I hooked this guy. Yeah, he was still able to make it through just because I did it at the correct time, right? So, Sometimes, this is a good spot to practice it, right? If you want to go to the practice range and try. Yeah. So this is a pretty consistent tip for hog techniques, right? Just wait for the hook to be reeled in, and then do whatever you want to do, right? So turning your crosshair or jumping or whatever as they're being reeled in, and it's just way more consistent than doing it like prior to that, right? So sometimes, there'll be some like really tight corners where you need to turn people to the opposite side of the corner and then to like the correct side. And that's what it kind of looks like, right? And what I think is happening is the hook originally comes here, but if you like move it the last second, they come out here, right? They're displaced to here, and then they're displaced here. Whereas if you just turn it to one side, they'll kind of like drag along the wall and get stuck sometimes, right? So something to keep in mind if you're going around a really tight corner, right? So another important technique, right? Jump hooks, right? So you see, like if I try to hook this guy from the floor there, he just can't get brought up, and I can't one-shot him consistently, right? I mean, obviously the bots have a huge hitbox, so like I'd be able to one-shot him. But if I jump as he's being reeled in, you see he gets put up on the same elevation as me, right? Obviously if like there's not enough for horizontal distance between you and the target, right? There's just like nothing you can do, right? So in that situation, of course, you just have to, test your luck and left click him, try to get the one shot. But here, like you see that makes it way more consistent, right? So, yep, good spot to practice at in training range here, right? Slingshot, right? Same thing, right? Just as the hook's being reeled in, just hit Q, and they just like fly in the direction where you like move your crosshair, right? So, yeah. Let's see. Let me change this to a tank real fast. Another important thing with the ult is the ult cancels. Or, I mean, you can cancel like your like shooting animation directly into your ult. You see, like you just nuke people when you do that, right? If you're like slingshots are like cool and all, but usually it's like inconsistent to find a good position to use them, right? And this is like a much more consistent way of doing damage, right? That's pretty fast. It's a lot of damage all at once. And it is worth mentioning that the ult also does headshot, right? So it's a lot of damage, right? A lot of damage to begin with, and it does double damage. So like, let's see, tank that can get headshot. See, it'll just nuke tanks if you headshot them, right? So obviously she gets pushed around, unfortunately, but you see that does a lot of damage. I'm sure you can imagine. In a small area, they just instantly die, right? So yeah, I think mechanically that's about it. Just try to practice your right clicks, right? So you do a lot of damage, of course, if you're consistent landing them. Yeah, I believe you can two-shot Queen. Yep. Okay, I got a little too close the second one, but yeah, you can definitely two-shot like a lot of the tanks without the headshot reduction, right? So basically, I think everyone besides Hog, Czar, Malga, and Orisa, you can do 2x headshot damage to, right? It's probably one of the reasons why Hog's so good right now is because you can definitely nuke a lot of tanks, right? Whereas previously that wasn't the case. Just a few, like one season ago or whatever. So, perks, right? Basically, in 5v5, always choose this one, right? The one where you get extra ammo and hooks, right? It'll obviously help. Like if you hook with 0 ammo, it'll obviously help and give you like, shore up that weakness. But like you shouldn't be like hooking with no ammo to begin with. That's just a really bad habit, right? Its real value comes in just like brawling tanks, because you just get a lot more uptime after you hook them, right? 2 extra shots is a lot of times really useful against tanks, because obviously you usually like 1 or 2 shotting everyone else, right? So, but you see like maybe Queen isn't the best way to demonstrate this, but like try to do it in a real environment, right? That's a lot more damage just from those extra 2 shots, right? Majors basically always take Invigorate. Just the movement speed is too valuable to give up, right? It helps you chase people down, helps you run away, helps you dodge cooldowns and like stuns and stuff like that, because you're just harder to hit. And you can have like more movement mix-ups, right? Yeah, you could try to use the other perks, right? Um, very specific scenarios. I think 6v6, the right click perk is unironically pretty good, and you can try 5v5 if you're willing to run hog on like Havana or Circuit. You can play around with it. 'Cause it is easier to hit, in my opinion. Um, obviously, because the spread's tighter, your range is like a lot better, right? So, this is like 15 meters away, and you see all the projectiles are still hitting, right? I mean, obviously, it extends your range to 15 meters. It's just more conducive to like your playstyle in 6v6, where you're not like a frontliner, right? In 5v5, usually people just close the distance too easily to make this perk like consistently valuable. It's worth playing around with on those sniper maps. Pulled pork, I'm really not a fan. It's okay against like Diva or Ball. Like, characters that you kind of like have to hard focus sometimes. Because they can't really like block your hook. They don't have like cooldowns to block it, I should say. I mean, Ball has like the shields or whatever. That's inconsistent, right? So you get value, right? It's maybe worth playing around with in like hog mirrors, but I really think Invigorates is better because you just take less damage if you're just not peeking for as long, because you just move more quickly to begin with, right? So, yeah. So again, practice turn hooks here, jump up there. You can practice on the boss to get the jump hooks down. Obviously, you can practice slingshots in here. Yeah. So, on to the gameplay stuff, right? Yeah, officially hit GM. I'd show you what my officially hit GM again, I should say, right? Um, I'd show you the stats, but unfortunately, it's tarnished from my open queue stuff, so I don't know. We'll start with the I believe this is my GM rank up game. I guess my win rate was probably like 80-85%, something like that. I started in like I don't remember, like gold 1 or plat 5. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have stopped playing comp because that was kind of miserable to climb up. It was just really, really slow. I mean, quite frankly. Yeah. So so this game was funny. I think our Moira was mad that I picked Hog and obviously banned Anna. Maybe she wanted to play Anna. I don't remember. I don't think so. But yeah, she was like hard flanking. I don't know if she was trying to throw. Probably not. But it was just goofy, right? So here I see that they're like not really on like a super great comp into me, right? I get her to use her shield really early, right? And you see my team's like not even peeking, right? And I know they're on like this Mercy pocketed hit scan over here. So like if I just come behind, it should be free. Kind of risky. Um, you see, I'm like stopping for a second, looking back at my team to make sure they're not like actively getting pushed. Is if if the enemy team is walking in here, I just like play over here and like hook someone out of position over on that side. But like I'm just gonna commit for the flank. I don't play with a headset, so I've sometimes a really bad idea of like when people are like usually gonna hear me, right? So like I expected her not to be there, and I expected her also to react. Yeah, none of that happened, right? So see, these guys are kind of out of position, right? So I'm just gonna help my team deal with the Mercy pocket, because if we get rid of the Mercy pocket, right, not be in a good position. Yep, just walking forward here, walking to point, right? I know that my team's engaged on the tank and Juno, right? Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Just gonna try to come in and kill the cast, right? Trying to cut off his exit. I'm still like playing around point because the Moira's here, right? And I expect the Moira to be backing up with me. Unfortunately, she doesn't. So these people just walk up and I die. Yeah, like I said, our Moira is like hard flanking all game. Like the first 2 fights, I'd like try to play around it. And expect her to play like a little more controlled, but like she just goes all the way behind. And yeah, this is like not much I can do about that. So walking forward here, right? I know, like these people are out like overextended because I saw my team was fighting the hit cancel point. Like they just can't do anything, right? So again, I know they're really far away, no shield. I got one of the supports, so just waiting for someone to overextend, right? Get this guy for free. Hoping to get in the speed ring to walk forward faster, but it was too far away. Just gonna cap out here. Alright, not too much to say. So here I see the Moira's in, and like I'm gonna like my thinking is to try to help her because I know they're still down with DPS. And I should say he's like still coming back, right? Let's see, where is he? Yeah, you see he's still far away, so this is like an okay play. But the Moira literally just like goes all the way in. Now I'm just like in a really bad spot, right? They just run at me. I stopped like trying to help my Moira. I mean, I should just let her do whatever she wants. Yeah. But after that, I was like, yeah, she's just gonna go in the back line and do whatever, and I'm just gonna have to like lock in, I suppose, right? So yeah, we lose that. Unfortunate. I should have caught on that our guy was, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. This guy's overextended, right? I know he doesn't have his ult, so this should be free. In the corner. I accidentally stopped healing. I think I may have, I don't know. So I think sometimes it's maybe my keyboard, maybe my internet. I didn't mean to stop healing. Almost died there. I see my guys fighting here, but like I don't want to go out here because you see, like they're just too far away from me to like do anything too, right? I mean, obviously I don't know he's like 1 HP. If I knew that, I'd be peeking more aggressively, but like, yeah, not much. There's a good chance that like I'd get shredded if I kept walking there. So, just walking to point here, right? See this guy just. Oh, I should say I see this guy walking around this area here. I just assume he's gonna keep moving to the left, and yeah, did the intro pick on their like main heal, so can't really res it. Just walking forward. Obviously, my team's walking in. Unfortunate. I probably should have just gone for a body shot there. Oh well. See, our Moira is just playing like a Sombra. I don't know. It's very unusual. I didn't know that guy would peek right then and there, obviously. So I'm trying to look to see where they are. Usually shield really early. Not in a super good position because she can't evade the point, so I don't really have to like do anything, right? I know we're down. Our soldier obviously, and our Moira is still respawning, right? So she's still far away. So I kind of have to give up space. They're obviously ulting as well. Alright, this guy's no shield. Just pull him around the corner. Try to contest point, I'm just too low. Right. See, this guy is weak, and I expected the enemy Juno or enemy whatever Emre to like be on her, and like they're not, so that's why I turn around, obviously. Don't expect her to fly like that, obviously. Just clean up at this point, right? Though, so yeah, just walking forward. They're at least trying to, right? Again, just trying to see if I can do anything off this Moira, but no, I just have to let them walk off. Like, yeah, I kind of died 2 times trying to play with them. So. Oh, important thing here. Hold on. You see Domina's beam, you can kind of guess where she is based off of like the beam length, and I'll try to show you, right? There's like the particle effect for the beam. You see it's actually thinner, closer to her gun. You see the pattern like kind of starts right here, right? And it's consistent, so you can kind of guess where she is based off of like how far the gun's going, and like if you see like this area, you know she's like right around the corner, right? That's what I'm looking for here. So I'm like, yeah, I don't expect her to walk that way, obviously. Dodged it, but she's really weak, so. Few of them ult, right? Looking for the Emre ult, right? Giving up some space. Try to slingshot this guy off the map. Unfortunate. Gets stuck in the corner. But at the same time, though, you know, we get out their best DPS ult. And I probably saved my team because now they're all focused on me, right? Unfortunate, right? Kind of a waste of a whole hog, but like, that's alright. Kind of don't need it to win the fight anyways, right? Just unfortunate. Yeah, important thing, obviously you can hook through any broken Domina shield portion, right? So just trying to get some like poke damage in, try to get my ult back more quickly, right? I know we're down 1, that's why I'm not like really hard walking yet. I know this guy has his ult, so like it doesn't matter if I get shot by him really. Too close, unfortunate. This guy wants to walk on my backline, right? If I just walk on their DPS, is better for me, right? You see, like, he's not really zoning anyone on my team, right? Like, I mean, I guess the support, right? But like, if I just play this close corner, they're gonna have a hard time walking because, you know, my soldier's on point. My Moira is probably doing who knows what in their back line. My Emre also ulted in, right? So that's why I was like ready to go in there and just ignore the Domino, right? I was looking for this guy, didn't see her, but should have been cleaner. Oh well. Just trying to play my life here, right? See my Moira's healing, trying to go towards the healing spray, right? Even if I die there, we still are in a good position to win that fight. So, but yeah, doing my best to stay alive in that position. Yeah. Domina's the matchup against Domina is like you're pretty flexible in her. I mean, you can like kind of ignore her. She just doesn't do enough damage to you sometimes if her team's not shooting you, and like her shield is like sometimes annoying, sometimes not. But you can like hard pressure her or her backline. There's a lot of flexibility. If she gets hooked in, she just kind of dies. It's just like she takes double headshot damage, and she doesn't have any mobility, right? And her shield's just like not flexible enough to save her, right? Whereas like Sig, obviously, you can reactively shield your hooks. Domina does that. She might be forced to shield in a bad position, or she like, you know, it's on a long cooldown. So yeah, trying to see if I can get them off the map here. Put the shield there, so no, it's not gonna happen, right? Still looking. Try not to take unnecessary damage, right? I see this guy is walking top right, and I want to try to deny the angle from their DPS. If I deny the pocketed DPS from my team, we should be in a good position because their tank just doesn't have as many resources as I do, right? Because we don't have the mercy, right? So they're all hard pushing me, so can't walk forward. I don't want to get too close because I don't want to get knocked off the map here. I don't know how far the range on the boop is, but I don't think it's that far. I'm just trying to play far away so I don't die, obviously. Yeah, obviously just trying to see if I can do anything off my Moira's distraction. Don't expect that guy to get one shot when he's pocketed. I see the Juno, obviously. I'd rather get rid of the tank. She's contesting points, she's more of a threat, right? Juno just doesn't have very good fragging capabilities, so I'd rather get rid of the tank, right? Trying to walk up a bit, see if I can get an early pick. I know their Juno died kind of late, so that's why I was doing that, but no. Unfortunately, we were down a few, so I'm just going to give up the angle here, right? Again, here, important, right? I see the Domino beam. I can kind of guess where she is based off its orientation, right? So, right around here, right? You can see it's on the left. I can tell she's like, or I should say, I have a good idea that she's going to be walking to the right. Just because she can't see me from her POV, right? I'll show you from her POV. She's like no idea I'm here, right? Oh, I guess she did. Okay. Well, like, she didn't know when I was gonna peek, right? She saw me to the right, and I just moved to the left. Right? So I see this guy slide to the top, and try to deny the angle. Can't do it fast enough. Speed ring's a little too far forward. Otherwise, I would have taken it and tried to, like, you know, go into him, but it was too far away, and by the time I got to speed ring, the Surge would have rail, and, like, potentially kill my team, right? So they're all grouped in that one area. Makes it really easy to land hooks, right? I got my value, so I'm just not gonna peek and just like wait for them to peek into my team, right? Again, trying to play on the top right so they can't take that angle. Try not to let them take any like good angles for them, right? They're just stuck in main all game on this point, I should say, and like they just can't really do anything, right? So trying to cut off these people's exits. Unfortunately, I literally miss everyone some way somehow. Just have to back because I see I'm all alone, right? I just lost my Juno, so this guy gets down Mr. Presidents for their Domino. See my team still fighting here. This guy's running, so I expected him to try to run away too, but just no resources at this point. You gotta abandon. You're right. I know these people here, but again, too far away, so I'm just gonna go point, right? Getting rid of this stuff. Maybe I can off-map someone there. Just getting rid of the, you know, balcony or whatever. Fence early makes it easier to off-map people. I should have just taken my time there. I always expect people to like react faster. just used to getting shot by 5 players. I mean, it's kind of that simple. Didn't know they were that close, otherwise I would not have gone that far in. Some good right clicks you see. This is why I prefer this one over Pigpen Hog, right? Like those shots just completely like kill their push, right? No hook needed. Pigpen Hog isn't doing that, right? So, right, you see, she literally is just like exploding every time she peeks. I expect this guy to try to run away sooner. I know we're down a lot of players, so I'm just outie. I should say when I see they're all peeking, I'll swing the corner, or I'm just out. I know I can like sustain myself for a while, right? Because I forced cooldowns and like forced a lot of like time with the right clicks. I know I'm getting pocketed, so I'm gonna try to hold on for as long as possible. Right? Can't hit this guy. Not sure why. This guy over chases the corner off the map. Just letting them peek into me, right? You see like. Is really overpowered, right? They over chase through the corridors, through the doorways, and they just like die for it, right? Obviously did not expect that. If they want to try to kill me, they just gotta keep peeking at me, right? So, yeah, this guy's overextended now. We give up a bit of time on the cap, but like, nah, nothing. That was just unavoidable, right? So, I'm gonna try to play up here, try to catch someone off guard. Like their team comp is like super great at punishing me, right? Using really early Kiri ult, we counter with Orbit. If I had known we were going to counter with Orbit, I would have stayed further up. Right. Oh well. Okay, finally get this guy. Just going to walk into their spawn. They can't touch, so yeah, whatever. Okay, so yep. Very, very intense game. Yeah, so hope it makes sense what my game plans here are, so. Here, this one kind of, I would show more comp games, but honestly, they're kind of boring. I mean, like, I'm still probably too low, rank-wise, and like most of them are just kind of boring. Yeah, so here on the cat, right? We're down 1, so I just don't want to go super aggressive. This guy, they're all in cover, right? Except the Hog. Hog overswings, right? Just hook him in. It's kind of awkward to like hook. Get like consistent one shots with the cat sometimes, right? Maybe with more practice it'll be easier, but like hooking tank out of position with the cat, it's pretty overpowered, right? I think this guy like lags out. I'm not sure. Just runs it down. Unfortunately, we were down to support, so I guess it's gonna be hard to win that fight. Join late or didn't pick. I'm not entirely sure. Here, I see this guy's top, right? Trying to just play corners, wait for them to peek into me, right? I see our team's coming back. I know they don't have a tank yet, so. I know they have like 2 flyers, you know, Cat and whatever, so there's a high chance they're going to take high ground, so I'm just going to set up here early. See the Cat. Unfortunate, I aimed too high. Yeah, Cat survives. Oh well. I know because the Cat's here though, the tank should still be far away, right? You see he's still coming back. And then our entire team is now here, which is good for us and bad for them, obviously. So like I can afford to be aggressive. Aggressively swing, so I don't have to worry about hook away yet, right? I see this guy was shooting down here. Free kill now. Unfortunate. See, they're all, or 2 people are looking at me, so I just gotta take cover, right? Trying to bait them into me, right? Get healed to full, right? Anna's looking at me, so I can push now, right? Save my cat. I'm not walking closer there because I'm the only one on cart, right? So now other people on cart, I can move forward now. Someone else was on cart, right? Yeah, and that's why I was like not really moving to get better damage, right? I'm gonna pre-fire this one because I know he's in a tunnel, right? Like he literally has nowhere to move, right? If I basically just throw my hook down the center of this, by the timing, by like his walk speed, I know he doesn't have overload because I saw him use it, right? When he was the hog or whatever. So if I just pre-fire down this corridor, he's basically always gonna get hooked, right? So turning him around the corner, right? Corb's really hard to one-shot sometimes. Just with all the armor and sometimes like overload, extra HP, right? So. Right, I have my ult. I know this guy doesn't have ult because he just died really early first fight. Yeah, so it's pretty free there. Just kind of nuke everyone. I was hoping my cat would pick me up and like fly me forward to chase the hog, but unfortunately he didn't. So I'm stuck playing really slow here. Just playing on cart, right? Because my cat is playing more like Sky Tracer than I guess Sky Life Weaver. Gonna put it like that. I mean that's fine, you know. Especially in neutral positions in our comp, it's like not really a lot of value. This guy, unfortunate timing for him. Gets down Mr. President's for the hog, I guess. I thought maybe the Ana was like behind. No, obviously not. That's why I was turning around, obviously. I see they're high nooning. I thought they'd be doing it like more in the open. That's why I'm like looking over to see if like there's someone he's high nooning, and there just isn't anyone, right? So unfortunate. I like have to play on bot and also try to control this hog, and I just can't do everything all at once, right? So here we're down too many players, right? We're down our Ana effectively, and our guy just died. And they also just duped the cat, so like I can't hook here because if I hook, I die to the cat. I have to dodge this guy's hook. Pushes me away, which is good for me. Right. Just to dodge it, obviously. Right. I'm sure you can see like now I'm pretty safe from the cat, just because the copy is kind of low on time left. But like the entire sequence, I couldn't hook the copy because she's had cat the ult for a while. I believe it's really easy to farm. So I just got to keep running away as much as I can. They're using all these ults on me. Fortunately, I make it out. Even if I get hooked there, it's fine, right? I just drop on the floor. His ult ran out, so and I know because Ana isn't here, like I'm not gonna die to him, right? Like it's just him and the Echo. I'll be able to like just drop on the floor and live in that position because my Ana's down there, right? Myself a good amount of breather. So fortunate though, you know, it's better not to get hooked. So against Hog, kind of like don't ever want to get hooked, and like especially if you have an Ana or Zen, you can hook him into your team. You know, some way to like really punish him if he gets hooked is ideal. Otherwise, you can like play to like counter hook him, or just like do your best to like bait out hooks and like hook other people if your team isn't very good at killing them, right? Fortunately, my team is pretty good at killing them, right? Because we have the Ana, Ana cat, right? Cat ult's a big problem for Hog, right? Because if you don't have hook, you can't do anything to it. So, yeah. Kind of dangerous, right? Almost one-shot that guy. They do a lot of damage, right? This guy's overextended, right? Getting some good right clicks. I know he's gonna fade bottom right, so I'm just walking in, right? He's gonna keep walking, right? I know we're up players and their Ana just died, so like I don't have to be super scared. But I'm just gonna play cart because like we couldn't take enough space fast enough, so. Yeah. Almost pre-hooked that guy. I don't know if I call that pre-hook. Prediction hook maybe. My team's getting picks, right? So I have to play not to get hooked because the only way we throw this is if I or someone else get hooked and naded and we just especially if I get hooked and naded, it's just over, right? Pulling this guy back in, right? Yeah. So, you know, when you're op players, good rule of thumb, no reason to be super aggressive immediately. You see I was like 400, 300 HP. So I could definitely die here, right? If I randomly decide to walk in, peek, get hooked and die, naded, like it's just over, right? Like that's a really, really good trade for them. So just play it slow when you're up players, right? You go as fast as you need to, obviously. But like just giving it a few seconds for cooldowns and stuff to come back, right? Is just way better than just running it in immediately. So gonna set up a card here, right? I want my team to take angles. Like I'll just play card, take all the aggression. On like different situations, maybe to be getting off card, but like we're so close to capping, that I might as well just sit on card and just like try to push it through. Unfortunate miss. Hitting good right clicks though, still forcing out cooldowns for that. So they just use everything on me, so I just gotta try to live, obviously. He's so fast with the overload speed boost and the nano speed boost. It's like crazy. He's really hard to like hit him consistently. You see, they use all these ults on me, and I still live. So I'm kind of doing my job as tank, not super flashy. Hitting good right clicks again. I can't hit hooks to save my life apparently now, but Is what it is, right? Looking for this queen. They're all dead, so like it really doesn't matter, right? If I kill her or not. Okay. Okay, yeah, this one. This will be good because it showcases I guess what to do on defense and like payload maps, right? Usually I really don't like playing payload style, escort hybrid stuff. But I'll kind of like talk through my positioning. Like previous games is kind of like just play around the point, right? At least within like 10 meters of the point. So worst case, you just like right click people, or you can quickly walk back to it. Either if it's push or control point or king of the hill, whatever it's called, or flashpoint, right? Like you just don't have mobility to consistently take fights away from point, right? So you just kind of have to anchor yourself near it, right? Like tether yourself, but not literally just bolt yourself down on the point necessarily, right? Just because you don't have mobility, right? It's kind of that simple. And usually your range covers like at least the entire point, so it's usually not that bad to do that on most maps. Payload, it's a bit trickier, right? Especially like against their comp, they have Ana Zen. If they swing the corner with like Ana Zen Rain Shield and I get slept on, it's just over. I just get insta killed. So um, on this map, I play up here until I know what they have, and if they have like a full ground comp and no Ana, no Zen, no like Mauga, anything that like gets on me really easily, um, it can punish me super hard for playing floor, right? I'll play floor, I'll drop floor, but usually people are running like or quickly swap to stuff that'll screw you over, right? Um, or just run dive, right? And if you play on floor against dive, people just kind of like ignore you and just dive your players up top, and you're in a bad position usually, right? It's better to play like top bodyguard, play on top of the gas station and like bodyguard your team, um, in that position, right? And if they have like a team comp that can screw you over, right? Like they have Ana Zen, I have to play high ground, so I have like better cover, and I have to play up here so their tank can't like instantly get on me, right? Because if the tank gets on me, and I'm like, yeah, if I get like discord or anti or slept and he gets on me, it's just over, right? Yeah. So again, just starting up here, right? I'll zoom forward a little. I guess the positions where I'd play on the floor. Honestly, it's not even that bad of a position to play, specifically along this like ramp here, right? You can like isolate the tank up here sometimes, right? You can come up here, right? You have like the flank down here also, right? Which is it's powerful, but like against their comp, it's way too risky, right? Um, if they had like I don't know, like for obvious like Mercy Moira, like I can't get away with playing down here, right? But Anzen's way too dangerous. Um, yeah. So, and it's obviously better to play down here if you can, just because you stall cart much more easily. And it's actually not as bad as it seems, because if you get cart here, right, you let it push up a bit, you can like escape through here, escape through the gas station, use this for cover and back up, so it's not the end of the world. Usually that's a problem with Hog on payload maps. Contesting cart can suck sometimes directly, just because there's just no way to run away sometimes, right? It's just too open. So just waiting to see what they have, basically not peeking yet, because I expect them to like. I'm just like not peeking. Just like holding down tab to see what they have, right? So I see this guy comes in, and I'm expecting someone to like try to follow up on him, follow up with him. So that's why I'm waiting there. Fortunate miss, right? There's a problem like with the payload, right? I can't like I just contest. They have too many cooldowns, too much. They have a giant shield, so like it's not gonna happen realistically. Even with the Kiri, like I have to trust my Kiri, and there's still just too much crap I have to deal with, even with Suzu. So maybe if I was like coordinating with him, right, be a different story. I see my Sims on this guy, so I'm trying to help. Get someone in the back line, which is even better for me, right? It doesn't have pins, so I don't have to worry about getting punished, right? One shot this, and you see how powerful right clicks are, right? Like, I've been hitting I mean, with practice, it's like, really valuable to get good with it, right? It's so much better than the original, like, combined fire, right? You see, I'm just kind of nuking these people, right? Fortunate I can't get to the Rhine fast enough. Oh well. Rest of his team dies, so it's fine. Here, because like they're not expecting it, and I know they don't have like a mobile tank. Their team's like immobile. It's actually okay to specifically play up here, just because if I get septonated, like they can't come up here. So seeing if anyone's going up that thing, right? Didn't know they swapped off to Emre quite yet, so I think maybe the on-run might stage up there, but that's not the case. Here I'm trying to like pull him into my team, obviously, so I'm not shooting. I'm gonna contest cart for a while, right? I was contesting cart because I know they already used Discord on me, right? So I can kind of get away with it. Here now, I can't contest because, like, you know, they're taking angles. My entire team's on the floor, unfortunately. So here I don't intentionally bring this guy high ground. My intention was to hook here, hook him off my Emre, and get him to drop right here, right? Unfortunately, I screwed up, and yeah, we just like predictably the entire fight's over now, right? Nano Ryan, point blank with my entire team shatter is just over. So. Before I just managed to trade somehow, it doesn't really matter though. We get out Sentinel, so that's cool. I guess, right? Again, defaulting high ground, I can't. It's way too risky to like play floor against that comp, so. Just walking back, right? Trying to ping, very important thing against Widow, like I'm always trying to ping Widow. Usually speaking, right? Playing over here because I kind of want to try to deny the Widow angle. And the cart's far enough away that I don't have to worry about this Rhine coming up to like contest cart to the corner quite yet, so. Don't hear this guy until it's too late. Oh well. Try to get a trade, not gonna happen, unfortunately. Very good thing usually to try to trade when your team dies, because they commit cooldowns, right? Right, like the Ryan had no pin, for example. I mean, he's gonna have it back right now, obviously. But like, all the attention's on like the Ryan, for example. Unfortunately, I lag and get booped at the same time, so I'm not gonna be able to hit that. I'm still somewhat healthy, so I'll peek, right? I see my guys still in, so dying there would suck, but like getting a trade would be pretty good for us. And I know the Ryan's far away, so like I don't have to worry about shield in that position. So just on the flank now. It's unironically not bad because they have Ana Zen, right? Low mobility, but playing main, like I explained earlier, is just not good. No reason to like speed in because I expect them to have all their cooldowns, right? So I see the Ana's in the room, so like this angle here is pretty safe. I know it's only a matter of time before this guy dies, so that's why I'm not walking in. You see, his team is just getting back now, right? Like this Widow, it just grappled in recently to get in this position. He's just overextended. Right? It's only a matter of time before they lose. I know the Ana's in there, but I think my time's better spent zoning the back line so they can't help the Ana and just assuming my team will beat the Ana, right? Like if I like turn for the Ana, you see the enemy team will walk forward and get angles, right? But now they can't take any angles to try to trade the Ana out. I know because the Ana is occupied by my team. I don't have to worry about stuns or anything, so that's pretty free, right? That's definitely a position where it's okay to do that. When I say do that, I mean go aggressive, right? Even if I get discorded, I should be okay. As long as I don't get stunned, right? Just trying to control this Ryan, right? He went for some like TikTok play or something. Previous fights, I'm just gonna try to keep an eye out for my team, right? So I don't get pinned, right? I know this guy has shadow, which is why I'm playing on top of the card, because he can't shadow me up here. I mean, quite obviously, right? So I know he's in the house, so I'm trying to be very careful with my positioning. You see, I don't want to like come here or like come too far out, because if I go too far off the payload, he shatters me and pins me off the map, which is like obviously really bad. You see, I'm already positioned on top of the card, so you like can't do anything. Right? I'm expecting us not to need Roadhog this fight because he's fighting inside the Kitsune already. Excuse me. Kind of funny, you know. I guess the loss of boop reduction just made me fly when he missed the pin or whatever. I know we're like down a few players, so I'm just gonna ult to seal the fight, right? I know they don't have shatter, no transcendence, so yeah, just gem them all in the corner. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, you see they have no counterplay now because they just have no ults. Um, no ults that they can use in that position, right? Like, save their team. So, here again, I'm going to play over here. At least to try to, like, mark the Widow angle. Try to back off because the card's too far away, though. Should have stayed. I didn't expect her to swing that early, but it's alright. Try to pre-fire the Widow or the Emre, because I know they're both on that angle, so... I missed, so I gotta back, give space. Pinging the Widow for my team, right? Predicting he's gonna keep walking to the left there. Just because he was probably not expecting the hook there, because he was kind of close to cover, right? He's weak. I figured I'd rather get rid of the Widow, because he's too weak to, like, do anything right now, so... Right? I don't have to like hard focus this guy. He still has a lot of shield HP, right? You know, at least a few seconds ago, he had a lot of shield HP, and there's a good chance if I like, you know, just full send on him, I get sub-nated, Discord, and die. So, just dodging his pin, right? Taking fire from them, right? So, hooking the wall, showing the wall who's boss, right? But basically, I'm trying to ignore the tank as often as possible, right? Like, if he lets me, you know, I will. Usually mid-fight, I'll say it's like not a good time to hook tanks, because like, well, it's contextual, of course, right? But like, if they're if they are high resource, like it's kind of a waste of time unless you hook them really far away. Like you see, the hook on the Ryan worked there because I like isolated from him from his team a lot, and that allowed me to go on his back line afterwards, right? But like, you know, if that didn't happen, like that's mid-fight, you know, when he's already like contesting cards, a bad time to be looking at him, right? That's my point. Right, so trying to go for the Widow, right? I know like they keep coming this way, so I'm gonna try to catch at least one of the hit scans. Don't want to drop, don't know where the Ana, don't know where the Zen are, so again, I have to be really careful. Basically just playing like a DPS against this kind of comp, right? So I'm okay to get stepped here because I was already discorded, right? And again, I'm on high ground, right? So this is actually safe, right? I'm like 99% sure I was already discorded. Yeah. Okay, he discords me and sleeps me at the same time. It's not that big of a deal, though. See, just because I'm already like in a fairly safe position on high ground, chances are I'm not getting naded. And like if he nades me, then I just get full of them, right? So against Ryan, when they're overextended, right? Don't even hook when he's just holding shield. Just wait for him to like do something, you know, break shield or just wait for him to pin. You can walk in afterwards, right? See, usually though, oh my god, I did not even notice the OW grandma is literally, that's kind of overpowered. That's crazy. I really should have recognized you there. Honestly, it's good for me though, because, you know, it allows me to play forward. I don't even catch her there. That's crazy. I mean, I don't think the vast majority of people would realize she's there, right? But fortunately, Widow gets an early pick, right? Another good tip against Ryan, right? You see he has a certain rhythm with dropping his shield, right? Yeah, okay, so even if he shattered me, he's already so weak that like my team just has to kill him, right? Like, my point is like you see, puts up his shield here, puts it up, drops it. It's, like really easy for me to like predict he's gonna do it again. Yeah, and he just gets hooked, and when he doesn't have armor, he's like really easy to kill, right? See, even if he shatters me there, I just get shattered on the floor. I'll be full HP. But, you know, I'm an LLS in my guy, and like he just it's like really risky because he's just so low HP. So. All right, moving over to stop the Widow from peeking. Important thing, it's harder to do now because the shot's less consistent without the central projectiles. But if you can, try to get away without using hook at close range, especially against low mobility characters, like Widow, for example. Just because you can kill the Widow and then use your hook immediately after for someone else, right? Maybe not in this exact scenario, but like I'm sure you can imagine there are definitely a lot of scenarios where if you shoot someone, you can hook someone else immediately, right? And get like double value, so to speak. Again, I don't want to like front line against this guy. I just want to isolate his back line. Right? Unfortunate. The elevation difference there made it awkward to one shot. Obviously worth getting good, just timing things hook-wise, right? I know the Transcendence is about to end, so you can hook Zen and Transcendence to off-map him, for example. Obviously he's invincible otherwise, but you can hook him like in Transcendence to like isolate him from his team, right? So they don't get the healing, or to off-map him, obviously, or at the end of it you can hook him and like it'll expire and you just kill him afterwards, right? Yeah, a good tip against Zen at least. And you can still like one-shot people through Transcendence a lot, just because depends on the character. Just because you do like the insane burst. Yeah. But I have like 4 people on this guy, so I'm just gonna ignore him. Go cart. I trust my team to deal with like the 100 HP guy. Trying to be careful. I know the Ana's in cart, so like I don't want to just run in and get slept, right? Again, we're already up in a good position, so like I don't want to waste my time or like try to give them an opening to like turn the fight some way somehow, right? I know they don't have a tank, at least they didn't have one quite yet, so there's no reason for me to rush. Again, ignoring the tank if I can, right? I see this guy is weak, and it's better just to you know, deal with him that way. So I know this guy's weak, no ammo. I don't have time to reload, and that like the hook perk, scrap hook actually comes in good clutch here. Just to secure the fight a lot sooner, right? So, yeah, a lot of times you want to kill people as quickly as possible. And, like, yeah, this is definitely a good uptime booster, especially against, like, Reinhardt, where he's just, like, really easy to shoot. Whereas, you know, against other tanks, it's kind of like an accessory. Like, against Doomfist, it's probably not really going to help you often, but against, like, you know, Ryan or Ramatra or Malgus, you know, characters like that, it really does help your uptime. Yeah, so I hope the mechanics talk and like the gameplay material helps. Yeah, if you have any further questions, feel free to ask.